Go.
For our final project, we chose to research the North Carolina unicorn population. I'm Celine Swanson.
I'm Maxim Abduhalikov.
And I'm Max Berkmuller.
Unicorns are horse-like creatures with one horn in the middle of their forehead. Human hunters are the primary threat to unicorns in North Carolina. Unicorns have no one home range. There are reports of them living all around the world. Unicorn horns have special healing powers. Cups made out of unicorn horns can neutralize poison and protect the drinker from stomach issues and epileptic seizures. Each unicorn requires 30 acres on which to live, significantly more than a domesticated horse because of the lack of pasture management in the wild.
As described above, human hunters are the primary threat to wild unicorns, but more specifically than that, poachers are their largest threat. They desire to get the ivory-like substance found in their horns, which has medicinal purposes. As such, the suitability map that we will be creating is going to be intended to be used by environmentally focused NGOs, as well as government agencies such as the US Bureau of Land Management and the US Fish and Wildlife Services, as they already are focused on protecting endangered species. Our group decided to study for our study area to be the entire state of North Carolina, as it's both not incredibly large, but also incredibly geographically diverse, which will allow us to analyze numerous suitable habitats.
We analyzed unicorn habitat suitability according to 6 factors: land cover and proximity to water, food, brownfields, game lands, and landfills. And we handled all of our data in pretty much the same way. So first we downloaded it and prepared it to go into ArcGIS. Then we projected it into NAD 1983 State Plane, North Carolina FIPS 3,200 meters, which was our chosen projection. And we used the Euclidean distance tool to create a raster layer that showed distance in the state from each of these different features. So the first factor we are going to discuss is brownfields. We chose to include brownfields in our suitability analysis because unicorns value purity and they wouldn't want to live on or near impure land. On this map, you can see the red dots are brownfields in the state, and you can see the darkest blue areas are furthest from the brownfields, so they'd be the most suitable. Our second factor is land cover. We included land cover in our suitability analysis because we know unicorns prefer to live in densely wooded areas. You can see again, the most suitable areas, the most woody areas, are in the western part of the state, colored dark blue.
Our third factor is game lands. Game lands are well-regulated areas where the hunting and poaching of unicorns would be prevented and the hunting would be kept to minimal levels effectively. The darker areas are the closer and more suitable habitats, and the farther away areas are lighter. For our fourth factor, we have one very similar to brownfields, and that is landfills. Landfills, again, are included because unicorns prefer pure lands, and the closer a unicorn is to landfills, the less suitable the habitat will be.
For our next factor, we picked proximity to safe surface watersheds. Like any animal, unicorns do need access to clean water. So we used the watersheds on the map and had the closest proximity as the most suitable and the furthest away from those watersheds being the least suitable in light blue. And then for our final factor, we used orchards. So in the unicorn diet, apples and fruits and wildflowers are some of the things that unicorns like to eat, and all of these can be found on orchards. And so we have the data of orchards in the map, and the most highly suitable places are the closest to the orchards, and the least suitable are the furthest away. And here are the justifications for weighting each variable in our analysis, with the highest weight being land cover. We chose this because unicorns are very particular about where they live. They prefer lush green forests, meadows with wildflowers, and fruits like we said before. And we chose game lands as the lowest weight because of the number of game lands in North Carolina is lower. So we just chose it as a less significant factor.
When creating our final suitability map, we just used the raster calculator tool to create this map that had 5 different levels of suitability rather. As you can see on it, in the eastern part of the state, there is less suitable habitat. This is due mainly to 2 factors, the land cover factor and the orchards factor. These are both, the land cover and orchards are both better habitat for unicorns in the western part of the state, whereas in the eastern part, there is less less orchards, and worse land cover.
This is our data dictionary. It shows each of the layers we created for each of the maps, and that's available for review in our story map.
So our final suitability map has a suitable area of 62,000 square kilometers. Within this, there are 160 total polygons that are considered suitable habitat. A suitable habitat is 1,500 acres, as it provides the 30 acres necessary for a unicorn to live in, but unicorns also prefer to live in large herds of around 50. So the minimum polygon size is as such 1,500 acres. In total, more than 500,000 unicorns can be supported within this suitable area.
And so overall, our analysis shows that the western part of North Carolina is most suitable for unicorns. There's more orchards, mountains, valleys, open fields, rural areas, and much more of what unicorns prefer. One piece of legislation that would protect unicorns significantly is a bill that increases funding for the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. This agency can come up with educational materials, enforce current protection laws, and research potential new protection laws for unicorns in the state. Giving this agency more funding would improve the current protection of unicorns and help us identify more specific ways we could protect unicorns in the future. And here is our bibliography.
Thank you.